Okay, welcome to our continuing education. Today is class number 8. That means if you did all 8, you're gonna graduate. And if you missed any, we're gonna start over the following week. Then you can get the one you lost. But today we start the new one in Portuguese, and I learned a lot. Then it's not all the same. Then I recommend just watch everything again. But I'm very excited to hear from Luciana Paz. She's awesome. She's amazing. She knows a lot. And I know it's a treat to hear from her.
Thank you.
Luciana.
Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you for having me. Good night, everyone. For the ones who don't know me, my name is Luciana Paz. I am a diamond leader here in the US. I don't know if we have people from other countries, but I have been with dōTerra for 5 years now, 5 years and a half. I have been using these oils, and I decided to share about 4 years and a half ago, okay? And I decided to share because they completely changed my life and in a lot of ways. And today specifically, I'm gonna talk to you about women's health and hormones. And that's just, you know, one section of, you know, of how the essential oils can touch our lives and can change, you know, the way we see ourselves, our health, and we can, you know, take care of our bodies, okay? And that's very, very powerful, how they can help women in a lot of ways. And I have some stories to share with you as I go along. You know, in this past 4 years, I have heard a lot of testimonials regarding how the essential oils help them, you know, in terms of hormones and, you know, friends who got pregnant at 42, this kind of things. Yeah. Very, you know, amazing stories. So yes, it works. Of course, we are talking about a lifestyle as well. Nothing here is like a miracle. So we're going to talk about, you know, lifestyle and how the essential oils can actually be a support and, you know, an extra tool for you to use in your life, in your everyday life, to enhance everything. Okay, so let's get started. Just to make sure everyone understands this presentation, I took from a presentation made from Dr. Hill, who is like the founder of dōTerra. So nothing here came from my mind. Okay, everything that I share, every single recommendation came from Dr. Hill in a class that he gave with Mary Hart. So I found this presentation. I thought it was awesome. I was looking for some more information on some of the products that dōTerra has, and I was amazed. And this presentation has changed the life of many people, and many people started to take some supplements just because of it. So I really love this presentation. So let's get started.
Give me 1 second. I forgot to ask to please put your name and your ID for your attendance. Okay, I forgot to tell.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank you.
So, aspects of women's health, importance of hormonal health. From birth to death, okay, almost all cells of our bodies are impacted in some way by hormones. Okay, so how hormones impact our bodies? It impacts reproductive system, sexual functions, humor, emotional states, stress management, okay, skin. We all know that, right? Women, around like our periods, we know how our skin changes, bone health, cardiovascular health. So hormonal balance is very important, okay? And we're gonna see some ways that this can be, can get out of control. So when do we need to start worrying about hormonal health? Hormonal disruptors are absolutely everywhere in our day-to-day lives, okay? Unfortunately, we are exposed to a lot of products nowadays, even though sometimes we don't know. Most of the times we have no idea, okay? But there are toxins hidden in beauty products, personal health products, cosmetics, cleaning products, fast food, you know, sunblock, that can disrupt our hormones, and that's very, very dangerous. Once we started to, you know, research, my husband started to look at all the ingredients, we throw away all of our like sunblocks. It was crazy here, and it's very difficult to find. Once you get all the brands that, you know, are good and are safe, it's very difficult to find. It's not everywhere. So, you know, it requires a lot of effort to try to get away from these disruptors, okay? But they're all over the place. So the time to worry about hormonal health should be, you know, from a very young age. We should take care of our kids, of our girls, right? A lot of girls are getting into puberty very early, and this has, you know, has a lot to do with all this. We're exposed to all these disruptors in our lives since we are very young. It's important to have a good practice, you know, family foundation from the beginning with a good diet and reduced toxic load. And this it requires awareness. We have to bring this awareness, you know, to our family, to our lives, to the people around us. And we, people who share dōTerra and who share this natural lifestyle, we should be, you know, actively making other people aware of that too. And we have, I think we have a class, I don't know if we had in this program that Bernadette put together, but there's also a class of continuing education also regarding, you know, reduce of toxic load and all that, you know, and cleaning products and how you can improve that in your life as well. So this is just to bring awareness, okay? So foundation for hormonal, so for good hormonal health, right? Some oils that will help maintain, you know, the balance of, you know, good hormonal health. Frankincense positively affects all systems of our body. We know frankincense as the king of oils, right? So frankincense is one oil that if you take internally or, you know, somehow you put it on your body, you know, via aromatic use with a diffuser, topically or internally, you are positively affecting all systems of your body. There's no system that, you know, frankincense does not affect. DDR prime, that's the major supplement. We're going to be talking later about it a little bit more when I talk about the foundation of our health. But the DDR prime is a blend that dōTerra has. It has the soft gels and the oil, the essential oil blend that you can use, and contains a lot of oils that give this support for a foundation for, you know, hormonal health. Lifelong vitality nutrition, well, citrus oils, and we're going to see how they all impact our bodies, okay? But citrus oils, they also have a component called limonene that helps also regulate hormones in our bodies. Lifelong vitality pack, that's the foundation of health. Like, that's what, you know, we call it the basis of our health, is the lifelong vitality pack, which contains the vitamins, minerals, and a blend of 9 essential oils to give this, you know, everything that our body needs in many aspects, and among them, hormonal health, okay? Supports the endocrine system. And so basically, the role of the essential oils here, and this is the basis of this presentation, is to help our bodies, and I love this statement from Dr. Hill, we help our bodies to become resilient and adaptive to any adverse situation that our body may encounter, okay? And our bodies are encountering external, you know, threats all the time. They can be physical, like a virus, a bacteria, or they can be emotional, right? So when we have the support, like the everyday support, I always tell people, hey, this is not something, the essential oils are not like come in a box and you put in a drawer, so when you feel something, you're gonna get it, you know. No, this is prevention. This is a lifestyle. You have to be exposing yourself, your body, to this drops of, you know, wonder of nature all the time, so that your body, when it faces any of these challenges, any of these disruptors, it knows how to respond. It responds better. It responds in a more optimal way. So that's what this is about, okay? So when you talk about these oils, don't think, oh, okay, I still don't have the symptoms, so I don't need to use it. no, we need to be exposed to this in every day. That's like a life. This is a lifestyle. Okay. And this is amazing. Become resilient. Okay. This is also precisely the function of the endocrine system in our body, to help our body fight this, these threats. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the steroid hormones, okay, that regulates the sexual functions. Usually people, have a lot of questions about the steroid hormones. That's usually, the first thing that they think when they think about hormones is the sexual functions. Men have more testosterone. Okay, we're going to talk about the major hormones for men and women here, and their roles, right? So men have more testosterone, but that doesn't mean that women doesn't have testosterone, right? Women have more estrogen and progesterone, but also has testosterone. And the other way is also true. Men also have some estrogen, okay? So for optimal health, both men and women, they need a small amount of all sex hormones, okay? Let me just do something here that, is covering the presentation. They need a little bit of both hormones, okay? So estrogen in men, for example, helps with cognitive function. So men need estrogen, okay? And testosterone in women, it's important for maintaining health bone mass. Okay, so if you're looking to increase your bone mass and usually, women with high levels of testosterone, they build muscles faster, right? Because that's what is strong in men, like the build of muscles and all that. So, so it's important to understand that the balance is important, but both need a little bit of all hormones, okay? But the key for hormonal balance here is lifestyle, as I have been talking to you since the beginning, okay? So what affects your hormonal health? So being overweight could affect your hormonal health. Physical inactivity, okay? If you don't do exercises and all that, could, bring to an imbalance. Alcohol consumption, age, our hormones, they have cycles, right? It passes through cycles. So depending on their age, it could be a little bit of imbalance. And again, there are tools we can use to help support these imbalances. Some medications they have as a side effect, it could affect your hormones, liver problems, and environmental xenoestrogenic exposure. This is a word that will come up a lot. So xenoestrogenic exposure. Okay, so what xenoestrogenic exposure is? Everything that comes from the external, from our environment, from external, okay, exposure, that could affect our estrogen, like specifically in women, right? Now we're talking specifically about women. So toxicity, inflammation, nutrition. Actually, because men also have, it could impact men as well, I'm sorry. So toxicity, inflammation, nutrition, infections, autoimmune diseases and all that, okay? And this causes excessive exposure to estrogen in our body. So let's understand a little bit, because a lot of people think that, being exposed, because we hear pieces of information here and there, and then we get to a conclusion. And that was, I tell this because that was also my understanding before I heard this presentation, okay? So because we hear pieces of information and we don't understand the whole picture, I had heard before, and I heard other people talk to me about this, that, excessive estrogen exposure could lead to cancer, for example, okay? And that some people were, excessively exposed and had this and that type of cancer. But that's where I'm getting to, and that's why we need to understand this. So we have xenoestrogenic exposure from our environment, from the food we eat, from the the things that we get in our bodies, like we talked about, right? The products we use, the cleaning products, all that are xenoestrogenic exposure. So what happens? Those are synthetic industrial compounds. okay? The xenoestrogen, it's not estrogen that our body produces, that our body needs to get to balance, right? And we have a very high exposure to these synthetic industrial compounds. This is what we are very highly exposed to, you know, more than maybe, you know, some decades ago. And that's why maybe, you know, cases of cancer, for example, are, you know, higher than 100 years ago. However, there are some good phytoestrogens that are good for us, okay? And those are the natural estrogen that if our bodies are exposed to them, they're not gonna do any harm. So let's get a little bit deeper into that, okay? So talking a little bit about xenoestrogen. So where are they found? Cosmetics, dairy products, look at that, plastics, processed food, pesticides, okay? Its structure is very similar to natural estrogen, okay? And they act in our bodies as false messengers. And that's the danger. They act as false messengers. So the receptors of estrogen in our bodies think that these xenoestrogens are the real thing, okay? That's why they called false messengers. So it interferes with the normal hormonal activity, okay? And it can be the cause of sometimes of cancers. Yes, it can be, the synthetic ones. And how our body metabolizes estrogen, okay? How our body metabolizes it. It metabolizes, but it is metabolized by the liver, okay? It can be metabolized to good estrogen and bad estrogen, okay? So the good estrogen, it turns into good metabolites, and the bad estrogen and bad metabolites, okay? How do I reduce the metabolism of the bad estrogen? Ingestion of D-limonene and linalool, which are components of some essential oils, okay? So D-limonene is found in citrus oils, like if you drink, you know, water with lemon, with lime, with bergamot, or, you know, wild orange, or tangerine, or mandarin, or clementine, any citrus oils, they are rich in D-limonene, okay? So citrus oils and linalool are found in some other oils like lavender, coriander. Coriander has a very high linalool content, okay? Those are some examples of oils that could reduce the metabolism of bad estrogen. Vitamins and minerals, you know, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, omega-3, fiber, probiotics, flavonoids, which are found in fruits, nuts, and vegetables, ingestion of plant-derived phytoestrogens, okay? Non-toxic to the body, decreases the bad estrogen receptors that can be caused by liver metabolism, okay? So the liver doesn't know, it just metabolizes whatever, you know? Our liver sometimes, they have a very hard job, right? Because we ingest all this junk stuff, and then it has to metabolize because it is exactly its function, right? To metabolize anything that we put in our bodies. So when it metabolizes the bad estrogen into bad metabolites, that's what the problem comes, okay? So why it is important to ingest and to take internally phytoestrogens? Exactly because we don't want our receptors to be attaching to the bad estrogen. So if we take internally the phytoestrogen, our receptors, they're good, okay? They're not gonna look for other types of estrogens that we are exposed to. So when I heard this for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to take these phytoestrogens, right? And since then I have been taking, you know, I take it every day for a couple of years now because it was so, wow. I now understand why it's so important to take this supplement, the phytoestrogens that dōTerra, you know, offers us. That's super important. So the problem is we have too much estrogen, you know, going around our bodies. And we don't know, some of them are good, some are bad. So when you take the good estrogen, our receptors attach to the good ones, the phytoestrogens, and the bad ones just go away. Our body eliminates. Okay? So it's important for both men and women. And I didn't know that. Okay? So Dr. Hill said, although it said dōTerra women in that bottle, it should be used for men as well. Okay, men should be taking 1 capsule. Women, depending on age, okay, pre-menopause to menopause, 2 capsules a day, and regularly 1 capsule a day is fine. So these are the good estrogens that we need to be putting in our bodies. Okay, the testosterone receptors in the hypothalamus, where it is most prominent in men, may also be connected to estrogen. So you would be, getting a good response in terms of testosterone in men as well, when they take the phytoestrogen. Okay, when taken together with the probiotics, the PB assist, the bioavailability of the phytoestrogens increases. Okay, isn't that amazing? I didn't know that. So other essential oils with phytoestrogen-like function, other essential oils that could, help you regulate the estrogen in our bodies. So phytoestrogenic, lemon, clary sage, lemongrass, fennel, geranium, okay? And then I would say, topically, you could be exposed to them topically. If you do the clary calm is already a blend that's amazing for women, and you don't have to. I think there's another slide only on the clary calm, but topically is very powerful. These oils, you don't necessarily need to ingest all of them. Okay. So some oils impact estrogen production, but do not have the same function as the phytoestrogen complex. Okay, because those are phytoestrogens, so they're complexes extracted from plants. And phytoestrogens that have the effect of phytoestrogens, I talked to you, the clary sage, lemongrass, fennel, geranium, but also lavender and ylang ylang, and can reduce the production of bad metabolites, clove, basil, and geranium. Okay, clove, basil, and geranium can reduce the bad metabolites production. Another thing that we offer in dōTerra is the aroma touch technique. Okay, the aroma touch technique is a technique that the main purpose is to bring our body to a balance, to a complete balance, homeostasis. Okay, so it affects greatly the endocrine system and neurological system. So it just relaxes our body. And once our body is in this balance, in this state of complete balance, the endocrine system and all the hormones tend to regulate as well. Okay. So body chemistry, it affects, and it can have a very powerful effect on hormone regulation. Okay. So it is recommended, that you do at least once a month, ideally, every 15 days, I think it says here. So aroma touch, for those of you who don't know, aroma touch technique is a technique of, how is it called? A clinical application of the essential oil. It's not a massage, okay? But it's a different approach to applying the essential oils at a very high level of efficiency. Okay, I would say that. So brings our body to a state of homeostasis, in total balance at the cellular level. It is the natural state of our bodies. It's how our bodies were meant to be all the time. And hormones plays a very big role in that. So that's why it's crucial. So receive an aroma touch at least every 15 days. Okay, if you have not received training, there are some wellness advocates in dōTerra who are trained, to give you that training. I give this training, but you have to look for someone in your area. Bernadette is also trained to teach the aroma touch, so you have to find someone in your area to teach you. Okay, and it involves, so it's a clinical approach, right? But it involves using a certain essential oils, like 8 essential oils in a certain order with certain hand movements. So it has to be done exactly in that system. It is a system. Otherwise, it doesn't work as it's meant to be. Okay. So we talked about prevention. So key to prevention is consistency. Everything, you know, we talk about essential oils. If you do one day and then, you know, maybe next month, it's not going to work. No. So prevention and consistency, they go hand in hand. It's very important. It influences the neurochemistry of our entire body. Now talking about, you know, the aroma touch. This technique is an opportunity to give this complete and consistent holistic effect to our body. Okay. The effect of the oils increases with the technique, as I mentioned before. So let's talk a little bit about, I would like to open, and Bernadette, if you could help me to open, if someone has any specific question that's not addressed here, we can maybe go back and answer those questions. But I think we're going to cover most of, you know, what people have questions about. So let's talk a little bit about symptoms. Okay. Symptom control. So
we don't have any questions no. We save the questions for at the end.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So cramps, you know, usually low energy, emotional imbalance, usually like those symptoms, you know, they fluctuate, you know, during a women's cycle. Every woman is different, and every woman feels this, you know, symptoms in different phases of the cycle. I have heard, you know, different stories. So it's very personal. So some oils that could help you are citrus oils, as we mentioned before. So if you have a habit of, you know, drinking lemon with your water every day, or any other citrus oil, that's great. You're already working on that, you know, without even, you know, worrying. So ylang ylang is another oil, Roman chamomile, serenity, balance, elevation. You see that those oils are oils that work also on a very high level emotionally, like calming us down. And so, and they have a high effect on our hormones. Elevation, frankincense, lavender, and conifer oils like Siberian fir. Okay. Some other oils that help control some symptoms. Rose. Rose is the queen of the oil. So we have frankincense, which is the king of the oils, right? And rose is the queen of the oils. And I love rose over my heart, just, you know, because it's, you know, it's the oil of love, right? And I love applying it over my heart. So it helps with emotional balance, boosts libido. It's something that people come very often on looking for essential oils to increase libido. Also another great oil, just adding, I don't think it's in this presentation, is neroli. Neroli is amazing for libido, okay? Promotes openness and confidence. You can apply to lower abdomen to relieve menstrual discomfort, okay? Promotes regular ovulation and helps with fertility as well, okay? All these oils that we're talking about, since they regulate hormones, okay, they help with fertility. Like we're talking about geranium. Geranium is in one of the protocols. The main protocols for libido is geranium. It's amazing, okay? Claricalm. Claricalm is the blend, the women's blend, right? This is the blend that was designed to give a balance of all these oils we were talking about in one blend, in one bottle, okay? So you can apply daily. I always tell people, oh, Luciana, I have such a bad, I feel so uncomfortable during my periods, and it's so horrible. It's like 1 week of my month that's lost because of this and that. And I'm like, okay, you're going to start using Claricalm, but not only during that week. You're going to start using this every day, because our hormones are not just crazy that week. You know, they work with our bodies every single day. So use it every day as a routine. And after some time, you know, you may stop for a little bit and see, because I always tell people these oils, they're so amazing. They have this intelligence that help our body's intelligence come back to a balance, right? And after some time, you may not need it anymore. We don't know. And you can use it, you know, all the time if you feel good, because the Claricalm has brings us this sense of peace and tranquility, and, you know, help us sleep better. Okay. So this is one of the oils I have on my nightstand table, next to my bed, because, you know, I use it every day on my lower abdomen. Okay. So helps hormone balancing, heavy periods, premenstrual syndrome, people who have, you know, a lot of this PMS symptoms, cramps, hot flashes, mood swings. Okay. And I have heard, you know, amazing stories about the Claricom, you know, over and over again. dōTerra also offers the bone nutrient complex. Okay. It's a bioavailable nutrition for men and women necessary for bone integrity. We know that sometimes with the change in hormones, you know, during a certain phase of women's life, it can also impact the bone density. So it's good to, you know, to start taking a bone nutrient, you know, important for those with weak or fragile bones, bone fractures, or growing individuals. Okay. Well, foundation of our health is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Again, this is the basis of our health, okay? If you talk about prevention, this is like number one. Lifelong Vitality Pack, it's one of the tools that we use to make our body more resilient, right? Responding faster, responding in a more optimal way to any of these external factors, okay? So we are exposed to toxicity, you know, every day, which makes our bodies more vulnerable. So nutrition is key. Oh, Luciana, but you know, my nutrition, I eat super healthy. I only eat organic, a lot of salads and fruits. It doesn't matter. I was reading our article the other day that was like, oh my goodness, you know, the amount of vitamin C or vitamins in general that like vitamin C specifically, talking about an orange. Like an orange today has about 30 or 40% of the total amount of vitamin C that the same orange had 100 years ago. So the orange that our grandparents used to eat. And I remember my grandfather who lived, you know, he lived almost, I think he died, he was 92. And he used to eat an orange every day, every afternoon. He would peel an orange very calmly, you know, and eat that orange. Like the orange he used to eat that would give him his vitamin C, his daily amount of vitamin C. Like it's not the same orange we eat today. It doesn't have the same amount because our soil are depleted, unfortunately. So we don't get the same amount of minerals from our soil, okay, to give what our body needs. So we need supplement. I think that's a given. We have to understand that everyone needs supplement. It doesn't matter how well you eat, okay? So nutrition is key for an optimal and vital body, okay? Without vitamins, minerals, and enzymes, the body does not function optimally, okay? So this complex come with a blend of 9 essential oils. So some of the essential oils we mentioned before, like frankincense, okay, it's already in that complex. So I don't take an extra drop of frankincense daily. I take my vitamins daily, okay? And Dr. Hill says, nutrition is it's like making a bed. You have to do it every day. Otherwise it doesn't, you know, it doesn't do anything for you. Unless you do it every day over a long period of time, you not see results. Okay. So it's something that you need to trust is doing something good for your body. And in the long term, you're going to see the results. I always say to people, I take this because I want, in 20 years, I want to feel great like I feel now. Okay. I'm not going to wait until I feel bad to start, you know, taking care of myself. So this is like basically, you know, this is the foundation. You have to make your bed every day. And, you know, it's like you're making a bed every day. You have to do it every day. Okay. I don't know if someone has any questions, but, you know, I found this sample of an LRP order for anyone that doesn't have any of these oils. Then this is a great order to get, and that will give you the product of the month as well. So if you're not familiar with the LRP, you know, the LRP is a program that dōTerra has that gives you points back. So you exchange for products. Okay. So this program is amazing. If you're not in it, you can start anytime and it's free. You don't have to pay anything to get in it. And once you make, it's an auto ship program, right? So you make your cart every month and you put any products you want, but if you put 125 points in products, you get a free oil. Every month, dōTerra gives free oils. And this month, she's giving a caraway oil, 5 ml caraway oil. That's an oil that's not, normally available. And you get it only, you can only get this oil for free. So you cannot purchase. Next month, if you want this oil, it's not available, okay? So this is a very good sample of a wellness, women wellness, LRP, Loyalty Rewards Program order that you could make with the Claricom, the Bone and Nutrient Phytoestrogen, and a rose that's 125 PV, okay? That would give you also product of the month if you put your order until the 15th, okay? So I just wanted to mention about the LRP because I don't know if people already are familiar with it or not, but it's, it's a good way to get, most of the important items we talked about here in one order. I'm open to questions.
Let's go open the chat. I think we have a question. My sister-in-law is dealing with heart in the body. No, heat in the body, sorry. Heat in the body.
Okay.
And very feet pain in lumbar area and loss gaining. What are indications you're giving to her?
Yeah, for the hot flashes, I think hot flashes, the Claricom is very good. You see here, the Claricom is good for hot flashes. And I also always recommend peppermint. Peppermint is a great oil also to regulate hormones, okay? So peppermint, like when she's feeling the hot flashes, like she can put peppermint on the back of her neck, but Claricom every day, okay? So it's a good choice. And Claricom, I like lower abdomen. That's where I like to put it, like over the ovaries, okay? Because that's where our hormones are being produced, right? Like so that's where I recommend putting it.
Okay, I put here the link. I have a YouTube that has a Aroma Touch training that you can watch. Yeah, I put it there.
Aroma Touch for her is good too.
Yeah. Well, Aroma Touch is good for everyone, right? I wish everybody could get one. Okay, then I have here, Lou. Are any of these oils you talking about not indicated for someone dealing with hormonal-related cancer?
They're totally indicated. That's exactly what I talked about. So the estrogen, so the estrogen-related cancer, type of cancer, are exactly because, the person probably was exposed to a high amount of xenoestrogen, right? And the receptor didn't have any good estrogen available. So when we take the phytoestrogen, right? When we take the phytoestrogen, let me show that picture. So when you take the phytoestrogen, our receptors are good. They're not looking to attach to any other types of estrogen. So you take the phytoestrogens every day, your receptors, they attach to the good estrogen, and whatever bad estrogen comes your way, it's just eliminated by your body. So she's already dealing with that. Of course, the thing about talking, she can talk to her doctor. I think, anyone that's under treatment should talk to her doctor before doing anything, okay? That's number one. Now, on a side note, I would say, doctors that don't understand natural medicine, they tend to say no to things that they don't understand. Okay, so,
just because it's easier, right?
Easier for them, and they're protected, so that's the only point that I would say. So, either she could look for a holistic doctor, someone that's more open, understand the power of essential oils. And that's what I have a lot of people doing. I have people that they believe so much and the doctor said no, and they're looking for another doctor that, they understand the situation, understand the power of the essential oils and how they can help, because these people have seen in their bodies. So they want to continue their treatments, but with someone with more, open mind.
Yeah. They ask about suggestion for thyroid health.
Thyroid. Yeah, I didn't mention the thyroid. Yeah, thyroid. So thyroid, there is a blend, and that's something that's not in this presentation. Yeah, I didn't cover thyroid, but there is a blend that has, you know, that I have shared. It's from the Essential Life book that I have shared with a lot of people. That's frankincense, clove, and it's only topical use. Okay, so frankincense, clove, lemongrass, myrrh. I think this frankincense, clove, lemongrass, and myrrh. I think this,
yeah, I think it's this 4. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
This is amazing. This is amazing to regulate, you know, thyroid production. Yeah.
And it's for both, right? It's
for both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have heard a lot of good things about this blend. Good point. The thyroid. I have to include thyroid here.
Hey, Carol said, perfect. I understood the prevention issue. Just wanted to make sure if she could use them while dealing with the disease.
These I cannot say,
Thanks
Carol.
a lot.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Our doctor are fine with her using
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I would take the bottle to the doctor and ask him, you know, these are good estrogens, and, you know, do you think I could use it? Oh, you know, and if she's already dealing with it, you know, I would recommend other oils that would help her with that situation. Also the frankincense and copaiba, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, there are a lot of things she could do. But regarding the phytoestrogen, I would talk to the doctor. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, Luciana. You are awesome. Luciana is awesome. It's always a lot of information. And just before we finish, yeah, don't forget to put your name and your ID for the attendance. And this is, I will recommend you guys follow Luciana everywhere because it's gonna be a lot of information, a lot of learning.
Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We're gonna try to get
class. I learned a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, she's awesome. And we're gonna try to get her more. And it's good.
Bye, guys.
The best thing is she speaks English, Portuguese, and Spanish. Woohoo! Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you very
bye-bye.
much. It was awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.